Let's talk about the world of financial technology, because something big is happening. As we look towards 2025, it's not just about getting a software update for our digital protection. No, we're talking about a complete change in the philosophy of how we survive in the digital world.
For the longest time, the strategy was pretty straightforward, right? You build the highest walls, the thickest gates, the deepest moats you can. The whole game was about perimeter defense. Just keep the bad guys out. Every single dollar was spent making that fortress seem completely unbreakable.
But here's the reality check. Today's attackers aren't just lobbing rocks at the walls anymore. They're using AI, they're sneaking in through complex supply chains, or sometimes they're just walking right through the front door with stolen keys. That whole fortress model, it just can't keep up. It's becoming obsolete.
And that, right there, is the big question we're tackling in this explainer. If building a perfect, impenetrable wall is basically impossible now, what's next? What's the new strategy for survival?
Well, the answer is all about this first critical idea. We have to move from just thinking about security to embracing a much bigger, more dynamic concept called resilience.
So, let's just make sure we're on the same page. Traditional cybersecurity, it's all about prevention. It works under this one big assumption that we can stop every single attack. It's a black and white world. Either the walls hold or you fail. Success means keeping everybody out all the time.
Cyber resilience, though, that's a totally different mindset. It starts with a pretty radical assumption. You will be breached. It's going to happen. The walls will fail. So the goal isn't just to stop attacks, it's to endure them. It's less like a stone fortress and way more like a biological immune system. It's designed to fight off an infection, recover, and keep the whole system running, even while it's under attack.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting when you see how this plays out in the real world. Just look at testing. We're going from, what, a once-a-year pen test, where you hire some good guy hackers to find holes, to continuous automated validation that's running all the time. And governance? Oh, it's not just an IT problem anymore. In this 2025 model, resilience is a strategic conversation happening at the board level. The key takeaway here is that this is a top-to-bottom change for the entire organization.
So you might be wondering, why this huge shift? And why right now? Well, it's because fintech leaders are basically caught in a vice. They're being squeezed from two different directions: threats that are smarter than ever and new rules that are stricter than ever. First, let's look at the attackers. They're using AI now to write flawless phishing emails or even create deepfake audio to trick employees into transferring money. The level of sophistication we're up against is straight out of a sci-fi movie, and honestly, our old human-based defenses are just being completely outmatched. And this just shows you how much the game has changed. This isn't your grandfather's ransomware. Attackers today have this triple extortion playbook. First, they encrypt your data, but then they also steal a copy and threaten to leak it all over the internet. And if you still don't pay up, they hit you with a massive DDoS attack to knock your website and services offline. So they're coming after your operations, your reputation, and your infrastructure, all at the same time. And the cost? It's just staggering. In the finance industry alone, the average price tag for a single data breach has climbed to $5.9 million. Now that is a number that gets a CEO's attention. It makes it crystal clear that this isn't just some tech problem, it's a fundamental business risk.
Now, on the other side of that vice are the regulators. You see, the days of a company quietly cleaning up a breach and hoping no one notices? Those are over. A whole new wave of global regulations is forcing everything out into the open, and incredibly fast.
And here are the two big ones you need to know about. Over in Europe, you've got DORA, which puts a huge focus on your entire supply chain. You're now on the hook for the security of your critical vendors, too. Then in the US, the new SEC rules are all about speed. They say a public company has to disclose a major incident within just 4 business days. Think about that. 4 days. It basically weaponizes time against your security team.
Okay, so you're facing these insane threats and these demanding new rules. How do you actually build an organization that can withstand all of it? Let's get practical and talk about the tools and strategies.
It all starts with your data. That old 3-2-1 backup rule we all learned, it's not enough anymore. The new gold standard is the 3-2-1-1 rule. And that last one, that is the absolute game changer. It means one of your data copies has to be immutable. That means it cannot be changed, it cannot be encrypted, it cannot be deleted by anyone. This is your silver bullet against ransomware. Think about it. If attackers know you can just restore everything from a perfect, unchangeable copy, their entire business model just falls apart. Their biggest piece of leverage is gone.
Okay, next up, we actually build that immune system we were talking about. And this is where defensive AI is just incredible. Modern systems can spot weird behavior in real time, automatically quarantine a hacked laptop to stop a virus from spreading, and even inject a security patch into a live application without you ever having to take it offline. The big idea here is we're moving towards systems that are autonomous, that are self-healing, and that can react at machine speed, way faster than any human ever could.
All right, let's get to the final and, you know what, maybe the most important piece of this whole puzzle. Because you can have the most amazing technology in the world, but if you can't get the executives to sign the checks and support the vision, it's all for nothing. This is all about how you communicate.
Security leaders, we have to stop talking about firewall configurations and vulnerability counts. The boardroom, they don't speak that language. They speak the language of finance, of risk, of profit and loss. So to get what you need, you have to translate your technical data into financial impact.
And here is a fantastic tool to help you do exactly that. This simple formula helps you calculate something called the annual loss expectation, or ALE. So let's say a single data breach would cost your company $1 million. That's your SLE. And you figure something like that is likely to happen once every 10 years. That's your ARO. Well, your annual loss expectation is $100,000. So now you can walk into that boardroom and say, look, if we spend $50,000 on this resilience tool, we can cut that risk by 90%. You've just made a clear business case with a solid financial ROI.
And this really is the whole point, isn't it? As the legendary management guru Peter Drucker always said, what gets measured gets managed. The moment you start putting a dollar figure on cyber risk, you change it from this vague, scary, technical thing into a manageable business problem that your leadership can actually get their heads around and do something about.
So, what does a good report actually look like? Well, here you go. These are the kinds of KPIs the board really wants to see. Things like your total financial risk exposure in dollars, the average time it takes you to get back up and running after an incident, and the security score for your most important vendors. You see, these numbers tell a strategic story about business readiness, not a technical story about computer alerts.
Which leaves us with one final big question. As we all head into 2025, you really have to ask yourself, is your organization's strategy still stuck on building a fortress that, let's be honest, is probably going to fail? Or are you designing a resilient enterprise, a true digital immune system that is actually built to endure no matter what comes next?